and Prabhuji is serving in Anamrit ISKCON Food Relief Organization, where ISKCON is feeding 1.3 million children daily. So we can clap for Prabhuji for serving so wonderfully. And presently he is serving in ISKCON Dwarka as a fundraiser, senior preacher, temple managing committee member. So we are very fortunate to have Prabhuji for today's Love Feast lecture. So we welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Dayalu Govinda Prabhuji ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Lava Girivaradhari, Girivaradhari, Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Banachari, Jamuna Tira Banachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Rukmani Dwarkadhi, Rukmani Dwarkadhi, Rukmani Dwarkadhi, Jaya Rukmani Dwarkadhi. Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol. Can you just bow down a bit? जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिप्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर सस्य मदभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। थैंक यू वेरी मच। हरे कृष्ण। सो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो इंग्लिश वेल, कैन कम्युनिकेट इन इंग्लिश? Right. There are so many people, those who can't even communicate in English, but still then it is a program which we have been asked to conduct in English only. So it's a lecture. This lecture will be completely in English. I beg your pardon if I won't communicate in your language, Hindi, because tomorrow it will be a entirely Hindi class. But for today, it's an English class. So, sorry. Those who are remaining here, please come closer so that we can have a better and a fruitful discussion amongst us. Today, I thought of taking a very important topic, that is fear. Today, I thought of taking a topic that is fear. Right? Currently, do you have any fear in your mind? Yes. When I googled this word fear. What is the meaning of fear? Verb fear means the feeling that you have when something dangerous, painful or frightening might happen. And the noun fear, it means to be afraid of something, somebody, something, or of doing something which we do generally. So do you have any fearful thoughts in your mind right now? No. Yes. Why people fear? Oh, sorry. When they don't feel complete in themselves, right? What else? Insecurity. What can be more causes of fear? Lack of intelligence. Anything else? Pardon me? Very nice. Fear of losing something or losing somebody. Right? Fear of failure. Right? Fear of failure. Fear of death. Fear of lack of confidence or not able to achieve something or some. And also fear of finances. Fear of finances. I have so much money and I may lose it. Right? Or I don't have money. जय श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश भगवान की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। What we do to overcome fear? Generally, what we do, what sort of arrangements we make to overcome fear? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what sort of arrangements we make to overcome fear? Pardon me? We must identify the root cause of that fear to get rid of that fear, right? Now, let's do one thing. I will give you some a word, and a letter is missing from that word, and you will have to find out what comes in your mind when you see that CA-E. What comes in your mind? What word comes to your mind? R, care. What else? CA-E. C-A-R-E, care. Anything else? Any other word comes to your mind? M-E, came. Anything else? Sorry? Cake. Yeah. C-A? Case. Okay. Anything else? I'll tell you why I'm asking. Case. C-A-G-E, case. Case, cage, cake. Anything else? C-A? No, sorry. So these are S-T-O-E. S-T-O dash then E. Stole. Okay. Store. What else? Store. Stole. Stone. Okay. Okay. Very nice. S-A-R-E. S-A-R-E. Share. Scare and share. Okay. Anything else? Share. Scare. S-A-R-E. S space A-R-E. Dash E-A-L. E-A-L. No? Deal? Jill? Why I am asking these things? Because what psychologists say, that what comes to your mind first, that makes your character. As per the psychologist, what comes to your mind, that makes your character. Sometimes what we see, sometimes we are not aware that what we are thinking, and how we are not mindful. Where we are not mindful. So that's why spiritualists, what they do? They practice mindfulness. Spiritualists practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is nothing but that to regularly find out what is our thought behind. So that is mindfulness. So what we do, if I'll ask that is there any fear that was not there 10 years back in your mind, but now you have developed that kind of fear. Is it there? Yes? And is there any fear that was there 10 years back in your mind, but now it is not there? Yes? Yes. And do you think that some sort of fear is there in your mind which is not there with others? Absolutely? Okay. Do you think that some fears are there which are there in others which you don't have? Yes. So what does it mean? How you will define fear? What does it mean? Sorry? Individually generated. Anything else? I want to know something more. Okay. Anything else? That's good. Anything else? I want to find out something else. I want to know something else. It means that fear is something not inherent. Fear is something that is not inherent. It was not back there by birth. We have learned that fear. Because fear, category of fears, if you'll find out, I have asked previously that some fears are there which was not there 10 years back in your mind, but now you have developed. Some fears are there 10 years back in your mind and now you have eradicated that fear. Some fears are there, those others are not having, but you are having. And some fears are there, which are others are having, but you are not having. It means that fear is not inherent tendency. We have learned that fear. So we can unlearn that fear also. What we generally do to overcome fear? What sort of measure we take to overcome fear? Pardon me? Is it? So what happens then? They say that the three major fears in this world is death, exam and public speaking. Right? So what we do generally, what we do to overcome fear? We make like practical arrangements. Sometimes we make some practical arrangements and mental arrangements as well as intellectual arrangement also. Practical arrangement, mental arrangements, and intellectual arrangement. What sort of practical arrangements we do? Have you seen? We take some practical arrangements, we take up to some practical arrangements to overcome fear. What are those practical arrangements we make? Generally, see we do some insurances. That are doing insurance, keeping money in your bank account, and also what else? Vaccination we do. These kind of things we do for practical arrangements we make to eradicate. To some extent it eradicates your fear, but not entirely. It doesn't eradicate your fear entirely. So we make sometimes we make some practical arrangements and mental arrangements also. When somebody is intoxicated, what he does? Therapy. And sometimes you find that people are, after taking intoxications, they just sleep. They dole out for hours together. What happens then? Because they have a fear. Fear to face the people, public in general, so that what it shows, it shows the emptiness within them, their fear about them. So that's why they don't want to show that emptiness to the public. That's why they are sleeping out, they are doling out, and they are not facing the. So these are first thing we told, that how we want to mitigate or dissipate problem, fear or anxiety in our life by which are practical arrangements, mental arrangements and intellectual arrangements. What are the practical arrangements I told? And then mental arrangements by dozing off and by taking rest for hours together. And intellectual arrangements also we make. What sort of intellectual arrangements we make? Sorry. We give reasonings, we argue intelligently. So these are all these are all arrangements we make to fight fear, right? But we don't completely eradicate fear by these arrangements. So what we can do, we should structure our life in such a way that we can imbibe all the things in our life. See, there is a sloka in Niti Shastra. You know Niti Shastra? Niti Shastra, there is a sloka, Bhoge Roga Bhayam. How we inculcate, how we imbibe all these things. Bhoge Roga Bhayam. Just a second. They say how fear comes. Bhoge Roga Bhayam, Kule Chuti Bhayam, Bitte Nripalad Bhayam, Mane Daina Bhayam, Bale Ripu Bhayam, Rupe Jaraya Bhayam, Sastre Vadi Bhayam, Gune Khala Bhayam, Kaye Kritanad Bhayam, Sravanam Vastu Bhayanvitam, Bhuvi Nidam Vairagyam Evanitam. I just read it out, you just listen it carefully. How fear comes. I am reading it out, you just listen carefully, that in enjoyment there is a fear of disease. When we gratify our senses, when we want to fulfill the desires of our senses, then there is a fear of disease. In family, when we are very much attached to the family, there is a fear of what? Losing them. Right? In wealth, there is a fear of losing wealth, right? Or fear of tax, fear of kings and politicians. They will put tax on it. Okay. In beauty, there is a fear of what? What? Very nice. Old age, right? In beauty, there is a fear of old age. In scriptural erudition, if somebody knows scriptures, very erudite scholar, then what sort of fear will be there? Pardon me? How come? He may forget. No, they say that there is fear of learned opponents, right? Fear of debate. I may lose. For what?
Fear of losing power.
For why?
Like if somebody is a politician and he will always have a fear of losing his power and his.
No, this is that thing is there for human beings. So in the virtue there is a fear of that. In virtue there is a fear of what? Wicked will flying person. In body there is fear of. In body there is fear of what? Death. Right. For human beings, everything in the world, in this world, is coupled with fear, vairagya. Right? Not clinging to enjoyment alone bestows fearlessness. So, if who can be? See, there is two things. There are two things. There are two things. Like one is area of concern, another is area of influence. So psychologists say that whichever area you are focusing in, that area expands. If you can't do something for that, people can't do, they will definitely get wealth. If somebody is working somewhere in a good position, they will get. So, but how he can eradicate his fear? What he can do to get out of his fear? Anyways, these things, youth. In youth, what is the fear? Old age. In body, there is a fear of death. Right? So, what we can do to get out of all these things, all these, see, fear anyways comes. If we focus on our area of, not concern, area of concern, we can't change, but area of influence, so that's why Arjuna was fearful. Arjuna was fearful of what? Not his death. He was fearful of death of his relatives. So, what Krishna did? Krishna didn't change his area of concern. Our focus should be on area of influence, where we can make some change. So, these things what we are getting, bhoge roga bhayam, kule, what he is saying, bhoge roga bhayam, kule chuti bhayam, bitte nripanam bhayam. If you are getting money, that is not bad. But if you are attached to that money, then it will develop fear. So what we can do? The fear, what we heard, that fear is not something inherent. Fear, we have learned fear here. So fear is not inherent. What we can do to get rid of our fear? We focus on the area of influence, not on the area of concern. Concern is that anyway we will become youth, this body is there, and money will come to us. But if we are attached to all these things, then we will get fear. So if we practice mindfulness, mindfulness means just step back a little and think, why this world is exist? Why this world is existing? And what else? See, mindfulness. And why this world functions such a way so many of our fears dissipates. If we understand why this world exists and why, if we will simply understand why this world exists and why the world why this world functions in such a way that so many of our fear dissipates. Most people are fearful because they feel the way which doesn't resonate to their deep desire. Why fearful? Because the function of this world in certain way which doesn't resonate to their desire. So that's why they're fearful. Krishna giving Arjuna many clues in Bhagavad Gita. Who is the speaker and who is listening? Huh? Krishna is the speaker, Arjuna is the listener. And what Krishna is giving many clues. What clues Krishna is giving? Krishna is giving, see, certain points he is giving. You are not this body, but you are a spiritual body who is driving this body. We are not simply this body, we are what? We are there is another spiritual body which is driving this body. Krishna says, we are not this body, we are this body. There is another spiritual body who is driving. Otherwise, when somebody dies, what we call it? What we call the body? When somebody dies, dead body, right? We call that body a dead body. Otherwise, we call a living body. When somebody dies, so there is something which is driving this body. There is something spiritual which is driving this body. And Krishna, another say, that law of karma is happening. That whatever we are seeing, something, some supreme power is controlling all these things. Right? Karma, what we did in the past and it is happening in the present. If something bad we are doing, we have done in the past and it is happening now. So if we stood back, then only we can think of it and we can resonate with it. Yeah. What Krishna, another thing is Krishna saying, that there is some divine reality is overseeing everything. We cannot ignore that divine reality. Right? And fourth thing Krishna is saying, time factor. Through time factor, everything is coming and going. Time, sometimes it is. So time factor will create and annihilate everything. Last thing, Krishna is saying, when we connect with the divinity, that connection is called yoga. What it is called? Yoga. when we connect with the divinity, then through that yoga, when we connect with the divinity, then we can step back and we can think over why this fear is coming. Fear is not something inherent in our, and we have learned this and we can unlearn this by connecting with the divinity. If we connect with the divinity, then we can think over why this fear is there. We are making so many arrangements. What are the arrangements we make? And mind, mental arrangements, right? Practical arrangements, mental arrangements, and intellectual arrangements. But somehow or the other, we are not able to eradicate these arrangements. By these arrangements, we are not able to eradicate our fear completely. But when we connect with the divinity, then we can focus on the area of influence. So Krishna is asking that there is a divine power who is controlling everything, and when we control, when we know that we are being controlled and we are connecting with that divinity, then we can come out of fear. Otherwise, fear will be there. There are certain kind of fears which is there in others, which is not with us. There are certain kind of fears which is with us, not in others. There are certain kind of fears which was there 10 years back, but now it is not there. And there are certain kind of fears which is presently there, but it was not there 10 years back. So fear factor, like fear is something which we have, which was not inherent, which we have learned, and we can unlearn that fear through connecting with the divinity. So connecting with, what is connecting with the divinity? How we can connect with the divinity? Anything else? How we can connect with the divinity? Developing spiritual consciousness. Anything else? First we should think that God is supreme so that we can connect. Anything else you want to say? How we can connect with that divinity? See, in Bhagavatam, one thing is there clearly mentioned, that Kalau dose nidhe rajan asti eka mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha prarambhajat. Kali Yuga, this yuga of hypocrisy, people have so many bad qualities, so many bad things, but one good thing is there, that is the name of Lord, which is being given by the Lord. Asti eka mahan guna, one good thing is there, the Lord's name. By taking that name, we can get out of and we can connect with the Lord. By taking with that name, we can connect with the Lord. If we won't connect, what will happen? If there is a mobile, though no connection is there, what is it? No use, useless, right? If connection is there, then only we can talk. Otherwise, we can't talk even. So that's why in this human form of body, if connection is not there with the Supreme, then this body is useless. If we'll connect with, through that name, we can connect with the divinity. What is that name? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So here we end. We come to an end. And if you have any question, you can ask one question. Is there any time? No. So temple like darshan will open. If you have any personal question, you can come to me and ask, right? So we'll wind up here. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for carefully listening all these things. So now today you get to know how we can get out of fear. Fear, there are so many kinds of fear, and we make so many arrangements to get rid of fears, but these are all temporary arrangements. We can't but there is, by connecting with the divinity, we can get out of fear and we can focus on the area of influence. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So हम प्रभु जी का एक बार, so we will thank Prabhu ji for giving such a wonderful lecture. So we will thank Prabhu ji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Dayalu Govinda Prabhu ji ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So if anybody has any questions, so they can come personally and ask Prabhu ji. So अभी दर्शन खुल गए हैं, तो आप लोग दर्शन भी कर सकते हैं और प्रसाद भी पा सकते हैं उसके बाद. थैंक यू सो मच. हरे कृष्णा.
Why this world exists?
श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश भगवान की, श्री श्री गौरताई की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा प्रभु